Hi YouTube, it's Alejandro. It's been a while, but I'm going to be doing an updated Future Card Buddyfight Sun Dragon World deck profile. This is my update after I got for Christmas the Golden Buddy Championship box, which came with the Sun Dragon deck, which was almost perfect, but there were a few things that could be improved upon. So I made a few customizations using the Scorching Sun Dragon cards from the Scorching Sun Dragon deck, which I opened up and did a deck profile earlier of, so check that out if you're interested. But yeah, this is my updated, possibly definitive Sun Dragon build. So yeah. First off, the flag, Dragon World, has Gal on it, because that's the one you get in the box. And for the Buddy, it's the Buddy Rare Great Sun Dragon Ball Dragon. Size 2, 6,000 power, 4,000 defense, 2 critical. Call cost, pay 1 gauge. When this card link attacks with another Sun Dragon, look at the top 5 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 monster or item from among them. Put it into your hand, and put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. Then if you put a monster or item into your hand, discard a card from your hand. You can put impact monsters into your hand too. So basically it acts as a searcher. Good stats, and I really love the design. It's like Ball traded his white armor for cooler black armor. So yeah, that's the Buddy of the deck. Run 4 copies of it. Already explained it. Then run 2 copies of the only size 3 of the deck. Champion the Sun Great. Only 2 copies. Size 3, 7,000 power, 6,000 defense, critical of 2. Call cost, pay 2 gauge. When a link attacks with another Sun Dragon, for the turn, a Sun Dragon on the field gets critical +1. Plus it gets double attack. So yeah, boost critical. Also good for comboing with the items, since they're also Sun Dragons. Then, moving into the size 2, 3 copies of Double Knee Flare Dragon. Size 2, 3,000 power, 5,000 defense, critical of 2. At the end of the battle that this card attacked, if you're equipped with a item, for this turn this card gains double attack. And it also has move. And with 5,000 defense, that's pretty good. Unfortunately, I only got 2 copies of this card. I would want to run more. 2 copies of Mirror Driver Dragon. Size 1, 6,000 power, 1,000 defense, critical of 1. When this card link attacks with another Sun Dragon, for this turn, 1 of the cards in link attack, and this card gets Penetrate. So really cool ability. You can give any Sun Dragon in the deck Penetrate instantly, including Baal, which unfortunately this version of him does not have Penetrate. Then, a personal choice I added to the deck, 2 copies of Mirror Blade Dragon. Size 1, 3,000 power, 2 critical, 1,000 defense. If your opponent does not have a monster in the center, this card gets critical +1. Pretty good for an opening play. Plus, if you link attack, then the center's open. Then you can, attack with him for 3 damage. Pretty good. I would want to run more, but, space is kind of tight, and all the cards in the deck are already pretty good. Next, 4 copies of Trailblazer Dragon. Size 1, 4,000 power, 1,000 defense, 2 critical. When this card link attacks with another Sun Dragon, put the top card of your deck into your gauge. So yeah, basically the main theme of the deck, of this version of the Sun Dragons, is link attacks. And it's pretty good, honestly. Then, 2 copies of Prominence Dragon. Size 1, 3,000 power, 2 critical, 1,000 defense. Pay 1 gauge, call cost. When this card link attacks with another Sun Dragon, destroy an item on your opponent's field. And it has move. So, item destruction and provides a little extra defense. This deck's also pretty heavy on Gauge Excel. Then, 2 copies of the last size 1 of the deck. Awaken Ball Dragon. Size 1, 3,000 power, 1,000 defense, 2 critical. When this card enters the field, you may return up to 1 Sun Dragon item from your drops into your hand. Keeping the card in the deck mainly to return the Dragon Force, in case that runs out somehow. Then 4 copies of the size 0. Jet Dragon Jr. Size 0, 3,000 power, 1 critical, 1,000 defense. At the end of the battle, this card linked attacked with another Sun Dragon, you may return this card from the field to your hand. So basically, it acts as a Boomerang Dragon for Sun Dragons. Now into the spells. 2 Blessing of the Sun. Put the top card of your deck into your gauge. Then if you have a Sun Dragon on your field, put the top 2 cards of your deck into your gauge. So instantly 3 gauge. Only 2. Lots of gauges still in the deck. Then 2 copies of Dragon Force Cancel. You may only cast this card if you're equipped with a card that has Dragon Force in its card name. Pay 1 gauge. For this turn, nullify all abilities of monsters on your opponent's field. More times than not, that ability could be super helpful, like in case you're going against Penetrate or something. Now on to the shields. 4 Sun Dragon Shields. You may only cast this card during an attack on your opponent's turn. If you do not have a monster in the center and you have a Sun Dragon on your field, counter, nullify the attack, put the top card of your deck into your gauge, and you gain 1 life. If you have 2 or more Sun Dragons on your field, this card cannot be nullified. So for that shield. Then 4 Green Dragon Shields. Everyone pretty much knows what this one does, but just going to read it anyway. You may only cast this card during an attack on your opponent's turn, and if you do not have a monster in the center. Counter nullifies the attack, and you gain 1 life. And the last spell and shield of the deck, 2 Blue Dragon Shields. You may only cast this during an attack on your opponent's turn, and if you don't have a monster in the center, nullify the attack and put the top card of your deck into your gauge. So yeah, I mean, in total run up to 10 Dragon Shields. But, you know, that's like a lot more than I would really need. So yeah, I mean, for Blue Dragon Shields, I had to cut 1 shield short. Since the deck already has a lot of Gauge Excel, didn't really need too many of that card. And on to the items. Got 3 copies of Dragon Force Straight Punch. So like I was saying, Dragon Force Straight Punch. This is an alteration of the regular Dragon World Dragon Force card. So yeah, it's an item. 5,000 power, 2 critical. Release condition if you have 6 life or less, and you have a monster with Ball Dragon in its card name on your field. Pay 2 gauge. Equip cost. This card cannot be destroyed nor returned to the hand. Its abilities cannot be nullified, and it can attack during your final phase. When this card link attacks with another Sun Dragon, destroy all monsters on your opponent's field, and deal damage to your opponent equal to the number of cards destroyed. I mean, the ability, I like the ability, but I mean, like, sometimes you might destroy the monster, or might not. Plus, there's also Soul Guard to factor in. Honestly, I think I like the regular Dragon Force better, but I still like this one. It's got cool artwork. It's the only one I have, really. And calling it with a Ball Dragon in the field isn't too hard, since you got the 2 Ball Awoken, the Buddy, and the Impact card. So, yeah, the item is Sun Dragon attribute, so it goes with comboing with some of the cards in the deck. And yeah, last thing to note, because of the life requirements, yeah, you would normally play this card like late game when you can meet the release condition requirement. Because early game, you're pretty much going to run the other kinds of weapons. Speaking of, 2 copies of Sun Sword, Ball Sword. Yeah, 2,000 power, 2 critical. When a Sun Dragon monster in your field link attacks, for this turn, this card gets plus 2,000 power and critical plus 1. Ability only activates once per turn. So essentially, the item has 4,000 power and 3 critical, which is pretty good. No equip cost. I like it. And for the last item, the main primary items you use before you lead up to the Dragon Force, I run 2 copies of Sunfist Jet Knuckle. 4,000 power, 2 critical. Equip cost, pay 1 gauge. When a Sun Dragon monster on your field link attacks, put the top card of your deck into your gauge. Ability activates only once per turn. So yeah, again, lots of Gauge Excel in the deck. Counteract, pay 1 gauge, and put this card from your field into your drop zone. If you do for this turn, a Sun Dragon on your field gets critical plus 1. The best combo I can see using that in is right before you drop it to use the Dragon Force, you just use its own ability to drop itself, and then give a Sun Dragon a critical boost for the turn. And last but not least, 4 of the Impact monster that came with the Golden Champion box. Way better than the regular Ball Grand Strike card. Size 2 Impact monster, Ball Dragon, Ball Weapon combination. 10,000 power, 2 critical, and 5,000 defense. Pay 3 gauge and put this card on top of a Sun Dragon monster in your field, so it's like an evolution. When this card enters the field, stand a Sun Dragon item on your field, and for this turn, that item can attack during your final phase, which is what the Dragon Force can already do anyway. When this card link attacks with another Sun Dragon item, for this turn, that item and this card gets Penetrate and critical plus 1. So that would be like Penetrate plus 6 critical in total with the Dragon Force. So yeah, really OP combo card. So yeah, in conclusion, this has been my updated build for the Sun Dragon deck. I really like it. I didn't make too many improvements on it. It was already a really good deck to begin with. But yeah, I made some slight adjustments. I mean, leave a comment down if there's like any things you think I might need to do to fix it. I mean, if I open up any boxes in the future, I might make other update to the deck. But in the meantime, this is the best Sun Dragon deck I got so far. So yeah, I like it. I'm pleased with it. So yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe. and enjoy. Check out my other Buddyfight videos. Check out the previous Sun Dragon video.